Welcome aboard. All aboard wisdom. Hey, Roxy Carter here today with you. Great topic again. Topics. I'd love to talk about stuff that either nobody talks about, they are usually jaw dropping topics, and they're things that you do need to know about. So, how do I come to a conclusion you do need to know about it? Well, these are things, this is something new that you guys are doing. You're either calling me, because I've had, like, I don't know, 33 years worth of clients doing life coaching. Been to my seminars and different things, and they hear I'm doing the podcast now. And they're saying, boy, would we love to hear some of these topics. So we're going to pick these topics for you because obviously either you know a little bit about them or you know nothing about these things. And I really feel it's time. And what is time? I use this in another one of my segments. This is a timer. It's like this, like I always say, my favorite thing, when it's time to take the cupcakes, the brownies out, it's time. You know it's time. Well, I'm telling you, it is time. According to me, Roxy Carter, and I used to write newspaper columns. I was a renowned columnist, a weekly Sunday featured article writer. And they asked me many years ago to write on what happens during a full moon. Is there anything, or is it all hoaxy? Is it just yada, 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 yada topic people talk about? A full moon, is there anything to it? How about between the full moon, the middle moon, and that little slice moon, which is called the new moon? Well, for those who think that what goes on up in the sky, and by the way, I totally believe God created the stars, the planets, the moon, all those things, because if biblically there's the three wise men, and they were the wise men, they weren't the three stupid men or anything like that. They were the three wise men. They knew to look up. I don't believe in worshiping the stars, the planets, and all that, but I do believe the Creator did make them for a reason. There is a saying, and it's a very powerful saying, and it's been around since, I don't know, Socrates, Plato, and being Greek, and I am Greek, so I'm going to tell you what Socrates, Plato, Aristotle all said, and they didn't say it to me because I'm not that old, but they believed, they had a saying, as above is below. As above is below, meaning what was created in heaven, by God in creation, it also acts itself out and is affected by things down here on earth. So as above is as below. Okay, it's like a reflection. Picture a mirror from above to below, above to below. And so I was asked in this, and actually it was called the Joliet Herald News, and it was a really very a huge newspaper. So they had me go out and they had me interview. Now think about this, not just pull it out of the sky. What do you think, Rox? No, interview people of what happens when there is a full moon. Is there anything to it? Or is it just a bunch of stuff that people make, some saying up about, a black cat crosses your path or this or that? Or is it some like hoaxy thing? Well, this is going to blow you away what I'm going to share with you today. So when I did this, I had to talk to the police. Why did I talk to the police? Because I had questions to ask them, and they right away said, oh, do we want to sit down and share? Do we got stories to tell you? I go, you got stories to tell me? Come on in, Rox. We want to tell you about it. Domestic violence and murder and robberies. Domestic violence, murders, and robberies, according to the police. Popo? Yeah, I love to say it. The popo, the police, they are making known. They know they actually put more people on the police. They put more people on staff because they know during full moons, everything goes haywire and crazy. Now, I'm going to explain why that happens in a little bit. Just give me some time. Then my other mission, I call it mission, was to go to people who are in charge of psych wards, where people go because they're having all kind of mental disturbances. They're suffering mentally. There's stuff going on in their brains, in their wiring, their chemistry. And so go in and talk to them. So when I went in them, I got this welcome wagon thing like, hey, Roxy, we'd love to talk to you about it. We all know this, but I bet you people didn't know it. And I go, well, I'm going to go out and whatever you're going to tell me, I'm going to inform my peeps about what you peeps are telling me about it. And it was just amazing to me that they were sharing that that is when they have the most uproars, when people are going through their most traumatic, dramatic things. Sometimes they even have to extremely up the dosage of things for the people who are the patients in there, because during full moons, it gets very chaotic. They don't even know where to begin. So they actually have to bring other staffers in. And many times in very violent cases, they have to even use restraints. Again, the police are saying this, and so are the psych wards are talking about this. Now, the other thing is, let's talk about people who deal with the weather and the ocean, oceanographers and all type of things. So I had to go talk to somebody who is doing stuff with the weather, and I had a very good weatherman friend with one of the TV stations I work with, and he goes, "Oh, can I fill you in on that?" And I go, "You know a lot about full moons?" He goes, "Oh my heavens." So we got talking, and he was talking about, "What do you think, Rox?" He said, "What do you think high tide and low tide is?" And I go, "I don't know. There's a high tide and a low tide. The water goes out, the water comes in." I wasn't really the brightest star. I just love going to the beach. I love beach, high tide, low tide. We all sit and watch it and think it's cool, but it's based on the movement of the moon. And when the movement of the moon, remember I said the mirror effect between the earth and the heavens. Okay, God created everything for a reason. He don't always explain why, but explain what happens with the police tied together with the psych wards with the ocean in just a moment here. But the high tide, low tide is very, very prevalent, and one's run by the other. Okay, the moon obviously is dictating to it. Storms at sea, hurricanes, tornadoes, some of the worst atrocities happen. And then he even went into, say, earthquakes, where holes open up in the sinkholes. Unbelievable things. And here's one that I'm not saying one way or the other what I think about it, because I don't think about it. It's just that I read, I learn. They're saying that when they are seeing many things in the sky, they call them UFO, meaning unidentified flying objects, whatever that is. Nobody's telling you to believe it or not. But they say, and this is what they actually do have many things on film, the Air Force, military thing. These things show up. These things do show up right before all these atrocities happen, and the majority of these things show up during a full moon. Now, whatever all that's about, well, let's talk about what is the common connection here. Okay, now, our human body, the way God made us, we are the majority of us, the majority of what we are, we're liquid, we're water. Now, when the pull of the moon, which is it's magnetized, it's a magnet. The moon is a magnet. And what it does is when it goes into full, all those different stages from the little slice moon to the mid-size, middle moon, and then that big full moon that, is up there, that starts to magnetize and draw and pull on the water in the human body. Now, the last thing that is really going to blow your mind, and I'm coming back to this in the moon and the pull of the water and what goes on the planet with the full moon. So my last thing was I had to go see a gynecologist. I did not go see the gynecologist because I went to see the gynecologist. So this is not like a truth or dare thing I'm telling you about. I went in there because that was one of the places that they said, I want you to go talk to. And it was about how during full moons, here we go again, full moons, so many babies are born, water breaks, babies are born. It's unbelievable. The birthing floor, the doctors, I mean, they just go absolutely, they're running to and fro. They need freaking roller skates on their feet to go from place to place, person to person, giving birth, because when the water, the magnetization of the moon, the pull on that big amount of water, what is it, 78, 80%, something like this, huge amount of water in us, pulls on us, the water breaks, the tides come in, babies are born, the psych wards are having people, it's pulling so hard on their body, and the brain is also floating in a water fluid, and that pressurizes that. Also domestic violence, it pressurizes, just like turning on a pressure cooker or putting a lid on boiling water. That is what a full moon does, and they knew this, and they're all saying the same thing, which I say that says a lot. And these are all professionals who live with this stuff. They know this stuff. So the one thing that I found very interesting, and I have always kept in mind, so if you have control over this, sometimes you don't have control when you're going to need an operation. You don't always know. I mean, could be appendix, it could be this, it could be a gallbladder attack, it could be this, that, or the other. It could be a million different trillion things that are going on. But the thing is, they say, try not to have surgery. Try not to. You know, if you do, you do. It's not going to happen to everybody. But the odds are higher for bleeding out or losing more blood and needing more blood put in you during surgeries during full moons. Now, you say, how would I know all this, Rox? How do I know? What do I? Well, by the way, if you look at most really good calendars, I'm not talking about the freebies. Some of actually the freebies even have it written on calendars. They actually show full moon, half moon, sliver, new moon. They actually mark it. So these would not be showing unless there was a reason for it. So you really can learn and start to watch, document some things and smarten up. And since this is the show called All Aboard Wisdom, why would you not know that something God made? He made the moon. He also made it a magnetic force. It affects high tide, low tide, storms, weather, everything else, babies being born, domestic violence, things that are going on with pressurizing people in psych wards and different illnesses, mental things are having a harder time with it. All these things we're talking about all have to do with the full moon. And they are, if you really start looking at your calendar, you really will notice full moon. So during that time, what I always do, I've done it since I've been from my 20s, I would always circle, get a big marker and put around full moon. And that's when I wouldn't, I knew that I had to be more cautious with certain things. And I knew that was more of a drama time. Here's the last thing about the full moon. I want you to really hear this. Never, ever, ever, ever want to have a talk with your mate or with your kids or with your boss. Never, ever, ever. Never set up to have a talk with your mate, your boss, your kids, the big talks, the big talks during a full moon. Why? Because only during a full moon do people feel more pressurized and full of anxiety. Because remember I said the pull, because there's so much water in our body, it gets us all pumped up. I'm going to have that talk. I've had it. I'm going to have a talk. You become more strong, more aggressive. I'm going to do it. It's a pressurization that happens between the moon, okay, and what's going on in our human bodies. And the thing is, the chances are somebody blowing up, not hearing you, are probably 80 to 97%. So is there a time that you can talk to your boss, your mate, your kids, and everything else? Absolutely. Now, if you think this is hokey, just start paying attention to what goes on during full moons. You have the media, you have TV, and you can also, just do it for yourself. Pay attention to when you are feeling these things yourself. Oh, and one other thing too with the doctor things. Women, men, this won't mean anything to you, but women who have their cycles that hit during a full moon usually have heavier ones, more cramping, more pain, and actually they can have more hemorrhaging and female issues during a full moon. So if you're one of them people that has that period or cycle time, you know what we're talking about for the mature women here who understand this, that if it hits during that time, your odds are that you're going to have more flow, you're going to have more aches, pains, all these different things that can come up. And also one other thing too that I just was very amazed with, and this was a gynecology doctor said, not only with that, but more miscarriages happen during a full moon. It's a depressurizing of the body. It puts pressure in there and things happen. Now, when you want to have a talk with your boss, your kids, your mate, you want to go in for a job interview, you want to go start something new in your life, don't get don't go in and have these talks when you're all charged up and I'm ready to go. Dun, da, 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 I'm ready to go. Please don't do it then. Your calendar, the good calendars will show new moon. Watch your news. They even say, hey, it's a new moon. It's a new moon. When it shows it's a new moon, this is the perfect time. Everything is timing, okay? It's a perfect time because you're fresh in your head. And people listening to you, your kids, your boss, your mate, your coworkers, they aren't all jam-packed and full of pressure up there, okay, where everything's plunged in their head. They are more relaxed. I can't explain why. We know this is a fact, and they hear what you're saying. They'll make room in their mind to listen and consider what you're saying or asking for because they're not so pressurized to do that, to hear you now. So keep that in mind. So the midterm in between the little sliver moon, which is your best time to approach going after things, new starts, anything you want to do and really have success with, is always during a new moon. Also circle that and put yes, 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 yes on every month of the calendar during that time of a new moon. It's always 2 days before the time of it and 2 days after. 2 days before, full moon, new moon, either one of those extremes, 2 days before, 2 days after, and that time in between. It's kind of whatever it's going to be in between the cycle of the new moon and the full moon. Anything can go either way, but I can tell you the effects and the way things turn out are not that warm and fuzzy if you do them and you approach things because you're all revved up and gassed up and ready to go and have that conversation. That's when all those things happen. Like I said, with the psych wards, domestic violence, physical things, everything that goes on, high tide, low tide. So keep that in mind. So don't think that when God created the moon, the stars, and the planets, that he just threw the moon up there. It does affect your mood. It does affect everything on the earth, and it does pressurize and depressurize things, and knowledge is power. So you learned something today by tuning into All Aboard Wisdom. Every calendar that's a decent calendar, except maybe some freebie you get at a gas station or somewhere, has new moon, full moon. I want you to go put this into effect. Test it for yourself, and I'm telling you, it's amazing how your life turns around because timing is everything. Get ready for another podcast. Hit like, little finger, hit like. If you liked it, you learned something, pass this on to someone else. Knowledge is power, and please do subscribe because I'd love to have you aboard and part of what we're doing here on Roxy M. Carter, YouTube's All Aboard Wisdom. God bless. Have a good one.